Okay, so page 15, week 3 syllabus, writing foreshadow. This is actually a technique that you use to write your story, which is your part 3, paper 2, part 3, extended writing. Okay, a lot of students, some of them have concern, teacher, I think stories, I know how to write story, but also at the same time, I don't know how to write a good story. Okay, so in order to write a good story, definitely you need to apply techniques. Okay, different sentence structure, complex structures. You have to have a lot of descriptive, narrative vocabularies or phrases in order to let your readers able to really go into that plot of story that you have created. Okay, indulge in it and feel very interested by it lah. All right, so this is part of one of the way that you can make your story more interesting by using the foreshadow technique. So what's foreshadow? Before I go into the examples, just quickly go to definition portion. So foreshadow means that it is a literary device that set the reader up for, write it down, an emotional review or plot twist. Okay? Emotional review or plot twist. Okay? It is a hint. Okay? I'll just write it here. A hint at what will happen in the future, but definitely without telling it explicitly. Okay? You are trying to say that, but without really trying say it out. Okay, just hint, a bit of hint. It can also have a twist. Okay, it depends on how do you write it. So it can be obvious or subtle. When used effectively, create enough anticipation or curiosity to keep the reader to turn the pages. All right, it's not so direct. If it's all direct story, I know the before, then what happened next, then what's the ending, then why do I need to spend more attention on reading it, right? So this is just to make a twist, okay, hook the interest of the reader to continue to read your story. Okay, so that's foreshadowing. Let's look into the example that we have here, which is the first one first. First one, hurry up, kid, you need to do your warm-up exercises now. My swimming coach barked as I jogged past the enormous pool. A sign in red that read, "No diving into pool," stood out against the backdrop of crystal blue water. The deep end seemed to be as deep as the ocean. My coach had instructed me not to swim in the deep end until I was more skilled. Thinking about what could happen, I shivered involuntarily. In the distance, my coach waved at me to signal that the class was about to start. Okay, so here, without telling you, but you agak know already that one. Okay, definitely the setting is at a swimming class, all right, a swimming class, and it is very obvious that there's a strict rules because here, the highlighted portion, a sign in red that read "No diving in the pool." So do not go into the pool and dive. My coach had instructed me not to swim in the deep end until I was more skilled. So this one is trying to hint you that you're actually not that skilled, just a new beginner. All right. Then what's going to happen next? Perhaps is because he or she is not that skilled, then accident happened. And it was, I think it's a life or death kind of situation if you want to make it more roller coaster. Okay, so these two words actually is foreshadow techniques has been included. Okay, a sign in red that read "No diving into the pool" stood out against the backdrop of crystal blue water. So by describing what you see at the environment, you're actually trying to just say that there's a really strict rules to say not to dive in the pool because it's very dangerous. It's an enormous pool. It's gonna be very dangerous. This one also, my coach instructed me not to swim in the deep end until I was more skilled. This one is trying to hint that he or she, the writer, is not that skilled. So if there's something happen, it's definitely be very dangerous as compared to those that's very skillful, know how to swim. Okay, Moving on to the next one, if it's for another example, how is the foreshadow being applied? So this one, although dark cumulus cloud roll across the sky, cumulus mean pile up, okay? One pile of very dark clouds, right? Fisherman Ma insisted on setting out to catch fish. In all his 40 years, he had never missed a day of work and he was not going to stop now. Thunder rumbled ominously, and that was followed by its companion, a streak of lightning that flashed across the sky. Despite these signs, the stubborn old man rolled out to sea. Okay, so here there's two liner that is indicating something. Firstly, thunder rumbled ominously. Ominously means bad luck. So means that something bad might happen. Okay, so weather, this is using a weather to describe that definitely dark clouds, thunder, lightning, the weather is bad. And this is a fisherman trying to continue his fishing or trying to continue to catch fishes in the sea, indicating that then perhaps later on something might happen to the fisherman, either something happened to the ship that he's on, and then you need to go down to the sea, someone have to rescue him, yada yada. But anyhow, here you are trying to hint that the weather is not good. It's not that suitable to go to catch fish, but still this fisherman Ma insisted to do it and rowed out to the sea. Okay, so this is how the foreshadow has been used. If you still don't understand, it's okay. Later we will work on the checkpoint, then you will understand better. But now let's move on back to the following portion, the notes portion. Foreshadow is not something, not what. Okay, you have to be very mindful. Foreshadow is just a hint, but you don't tell the exact what's going to happen. So it's not a spoiler. You will not give exactly the details of what's going to happen later. It's not a flash forward, okay? Because flash forward describe what is happening, what is going on. It's not a red herring. It's not a hint that is placed deliberately misleading to the reader. Okay, I will not give you the example of spoiler, flash forward, and red herring because I think it's quite confusing. You just have to remember one thing, where foreshadowing is about a hint on what will happen in the future, but didn't tell it in a very detailed manner. Okay, and how can you do foreshadow? These are the few techniques that you'll use, either by dialogue or by symboling, weather description, reaction of the character in the story, time or season, okay, setting. So dialogue, I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, you already hinted with the dialogue of the character that something bad is going to do maybe, to happen maybe. All right, symbol, blitz, certain colors, type of birds, weapons. For example, a flock of the crow fly over above your house, okay, and has been there circulating. So indicating that maybe something that's bad, because crow always is being synonymous with bad lucks, right? So crows, something bad is gonna happen at your house, perhaps. All right. Weather, storm clouds, wind, rain, clearing skies. It depends on the weather description, indicating is it good thing happen, bad thing happen. Right? Reaction, apprehension, curiosity, secrecy. So out of curiosity, you try to figure out what happened next, then you go there, then gg.com, right? Try to take risks on understanding things, but at the end, maybe you have to go through something. All right. Time or season, midnight, usually midnight, dawn, this kind of timing. A lot of ghost story happen. A lot of like supernatural things happen. Right? Spring, winter, very cold. So maybe there will be incident happen. Okay. Setting, graveyard, battlefield, isolated path, river. So it depends on the setting that you give. Can also give some slight hinting of what is the story going to talk about lah. Okay. Later on, I will show you a short clip on what we have for the Incredible Family, how in this movie the foreshadow is being used, and then only we move into the checkpoint. All right. So give me a very quick Few quick minutes. Okay. Okay, quick question. If I go out from my notes, are you able to see the video now? Are we able to see that I'm actually on the video scene? Yes, can see, right? Okay, so a very quick one for you to have a look. If there's anything, I will explain in the middle. All right. Content not supported. No. Chap how do I do this? Content not supported means I need to find another way to do it. Okay. Yeah, I have to use my own YouTube instead. In my laptop. One moment. Can you see my screen now? I believe you can see my screen now, right? Cannot. All good. Should all be good. Let me just play through. I think there's no sound now. Maybe the sound is not connected, but let's go through. Okay, so here the wife is saying that, okay, go save your customer, help your customer, or that. And then the Incredible Man head to not his usual office, but a superhero office lah. Okay, so the short people here that is trying to talk to this Incredible Man is the designer of suits. All right, usually will design suits or weapons or equipments for superheroes. A bit more. So yeah, the Incredible Man is saying that he wants to fix his superhero suit and then perhaps can change the design a bit. All right. He wants to have a cap, means the guy behind the suits, right? But the designer is trying to tell him something. Where is it? Java. So in this portion. Okay. So Caps looks very cool. However, this man, the superhero, still failed because of the caps. Okay, the kind behind. Okay. Died. Okay. So showing you the bad, okay, the weakness of the cap. With the caps, you are, although you are very good, but still you might be having problems lah. So this is how the foreshadow is being indicated. Okay. First foreshadow has been showed when the very first part of this video. This one, the superhero show that the suit has spoiled. So definitely later, then he will move to the office to find the designer to fix the baju. Then the designer said cannot fix, throw it away. Then hold up here, throw it away. Then here, when the designer hold up a book or a sketchbook, then you know that now it's trying to design a new one for this guy. So without saying it exactly, you can see that what's going to happen next, a bit of hint. This is how the foreshadow technique has been used here. Okay, we good. So let me move on to the next portion. Any questions while we are waiting for my iPad to connect it back? So far so good, silence means consent, Okay. Can. All right. Then now let's move on to your checkpoint 1, which is in your page 16. Checkpoint 1. I will demonstrate the question number 1 and 2 for you. 3 till 5, you do it yourself. This is for you to have a better understanding on what's foreshadowing. Okay, so first thing first. Jeremy's mother had written Jeremy had football practice on Monday and Fridays across the calendar. Jeremy didn't want to tell her that he had been kicked off the team, but he had to find a way to let her know. He reached for the eraser. So what's the prediction that you can make? So imagine you are the reader, right? This is what has been written. Okay. All this while, Jeremy's mother has written Jeremy has football practice on Mondays and Friday across the calendar. However, one day, Jeremy reached out to the eraser and walked towards the calendar. So what's the prediction? Without telling you, we know that Jeremy is actually trying to erase the message about the practice because here say that he wants to find a way to let her know, all right, that he didn't he had been kicked off the team, but without telling her directly. So another way. Okay. So this is the prediction with the eraser erasing the calendar's notes. All right. Moving on to the next one now, question number 2. If this warm weather continues, the flowers in our gardens will start to bloom as it thought it's spring instead of winter, Maria's mother said. That night, the weatherman announced that the strange weather pattern was ending. What prediction can you make? Okay, so here, keywords here. Warm weather continues, thought it's spring instead of winter. From this passage, we know that it's winter time. However, the weather is strange and it's like the temperature is so high. It's like it's springtime. Okay, very hot. Then the weatherman announced strange weather ending. So what's the prediction? The flowers will not bloom because the weather will no longer be strange like spring instead of winter. Okay? Definitely not Maria water the garden. This is something that is totally not related to the passage. Maria's mother will not listen to the weather anymore. Also, there's nothing that is hinting this. So the flowers will not bloom because the strange pattern was ending. So without telling you, okay, it's back to normal, you already know that what's happening. All right. So question number 3 to question number 5. I'll give you 3 minutes. Try to go through the whole passage and try to make the prediction, the accurate prediction according to the context. Okay, for those who are watching the recording, stop it here. After 3 minutes, let's resume back the discussion and cross-check your answer accordingly. If there's any question as usual, just put it into the chat box and let me know. All right, let's go. So question number 3. Let me just assign someone now. Maybe Guo Yong. So Guo Yong, question number 3. You don't have to read it to me for the whole passage, but you just have to read the answers to me. So A, B, and C, which one is your answer? Unmute yourself and just read through to me. This one will be Qian Rou. And then for question number 5, it's gonna be Jingyi. Okay, Jingyi. So just unmute yourself when you're ready to let me know the answer.
The teacher will call on Annie.
We'll call on Annie. Yes. Okay. Keywords. Why? Because she dislikes speaking in class. Annie will not speak in class, so definitely she will not raise her hand lah. Okay. Next one. All other students had their hands in the air. Teacher's attention was on Annie. Okay, so definitely his teacher will call on Annie. Very good. Next one, Chenro, what's your answer for your question number 4? Do not give me the alphabet, but please read out your answer.
The baby will wake up.
Yes, the baby will wake up. Very good. Why? Everyone is trying to be as low voice as possible, lower the voice level, whispered, crept upstairs, but suddenly he lost his footing, the book crashed, making a very loud noise, then the baby woke up. Very good. And the very last one, Jingyi.
Susanna will get seriously hurt.
Susanna will get seriously hurt? No. The answer should be James will not climb the tree. Okay. Why do we say so? Because although Susanna said it's perfectly safe, she lost her footing and nearly fell. Then he will no longer trust her and will not climb the tree. Okay. She said nearly fell means haven't seriously hurt lah. Okay. So that one is not the correct one. So that's prediction. That's foreshadowing. All right. So these are the phrases. The phrases that I've highlighted in yellow, especially the long one, not the words, right? It's all the foreshadowing phrases. Okay. So without any further ado, let's go into our practice one. If it's all good for you for this portion, please raise hand. Otherwise, let me know if you have any further answers. Sorry, for the other questions that you want me to explain a bit more. All good. All good. Raise hand. Got question? Ask. All right. Okay, Brian, all good? Okay, cool. So let's move on. So this one, first we go through the plot of the story first, which is the main incident. And then we need to identify a few things and try to use foreshadowing as a technique to write the introduction of your whole story. So now we are trying to go into the very first phase of you writing out a long extended writing. Okay, but we try to fix the introduction portion first. So this is what happened. Eugene went to the beach with his family for a picnic. It was a simple birthday celebration for his mother. At the sea, Eugene swam a little too far and the current was getting too strong. Current means the wave, okay? The wave. Eugene tried to swim back to the shore, okay, means the seaside, the most shallow side of the sea, but the current pushed him further. Luckily, a trialite spotted him and brought him back to the shore. Okay, so this one, I will need to teach you, based on this example, a few things. First thing first, I think it is very important to look at the beginning of the story to have your setting accurate, okay, to have your setting. So we talk about Eugene go to beach with family, right? So here you know the character will definitely be Eugene and family members. Where's the location? Beach side, right? So this is the first one. Secondly, find the highlight of the story, the climax of the story. So if this is your beginning of the story, further description, swim a little too far, swim back but cannot, this likely will be your climax part. Then luckily a trialite spot and brought him back, saved him. It's your resolution and ending portion. So for the middle of this story, we know that what happened is current too strong, okay, pushed him further. Then at the end of the day, a trialite will help him. So what I usually will do is when I have a story plot in my mind, I know what I need to write. I need to identify what's the ending that I want to give first. So here, luckily, indicated that it's a happy ending. So Eugene is not dead. All right, happy ending. But this portion, current push him further, is a bit like horror or sad, right? Horror or sad kind of feeling. So in order to have a really good emotion roller coaster, what I will usually do will be happy, horror, then here I'll make it as happy as possible. Happy. Especially it's for birthday celebration, right? It's going to be a happy one. So you make it very happy. Then later when you transition into the very sad or terrifying incident, the current pushing it too far, then the contrast will be bigger. It will be more interesting, right? So this is how I do it. And let's see how the example is being written up. The splashing of wave form a symphony with the gentle breeze that's the trees, okay, caress the tree. Eugene and his family were lounging leisurely under the natural awning of the trees that lined the beach, enjoying the hearty food that they had prepared earlier in the celebration of his mother's birthday. So first thing first, let's use weather, okay? Use the weather to describe. Maybe I used another different color. It's easier for you to. First one, weather description. Secondly, establish the setting first. So we started off with what we know. Eugene and his family, beach, celebration of his mother's birthday. So at the very beginning of the introduction, we already let the readers know, okay, this is a beach. They went there because of the celebration of the mother's birthday. It is Eugene and his family. Right? Then we have to move on to the phrases that is to indicate what is going to happen next. So looking out at the sea, Eugene had an idea, challenged his brothers to swim out to the sea. So this is the core highlight. Okay. And this is actually the phrase that hint you that something is going to happen later. Challenge brothers to swim out the sea. And then again, immediately mother threw him a death stare, warning him not to. Okay. So you're trying to build the emotion up that to let the audience know that, okay, one, to swim out to the sea is a challenge. Okay. So it's not that easy. It's not an easy journey. Two, mother threw a death stare and warned him not to do it. Okay. So this is also another foreshadow phrase that is trying to hint you that, okay, perhaps if you didn't do exactly as what the mother asked you to, something bad happened. Okay. So here also they did apply a bit of the technique of sound by using dialogues to further make it interesting. Because if you use the sound technique, then you can establish a first person point of view better. Okay, so this is what you should do. So I recapped. First thing first, the note here, I think you can try to do the hint with 5 senses. But now I will recommend you to use weather. If you do not remember the 5 senses techniques, it is about what you see with your eyes, okay, what you see, what you smell with your nose, right? What you talk about, okay, the voice, what you heard, okay, your touch, okay, what do you feel? So I think in order to make foreshadowing, the most easiest one is starting from weather first, because we always look around of the environment, right? So this is the 5 senses weather. Secondly, you have to build the roller coaster of emotion. The roller coaster of emotion means you need to do it as contrast as possible. Like what I've showed you just now. If it's horror in the middle, happy ending, I will build happy in the middle as well, so that the contrast will be happy fell down, then go up to happy again. All right. So this is how I do it. For the question 1, I'll bring you through once more, and then later question 2, I want you to do it yourself. Okay? So this one, question number 1. My family and I went Genting Highland for one-day trip. Wanted to escape the hot and humid weather of KL. Landslide happened. Road back to KL was blocked. We were forced to stay overnight. Roadblock was cleared. We went home. So if it's according to the flow, we know that once, all right, the ending is happy one because block cleared, went home. So this is a happy one, right? Then sad things happen in the middle because it is about landslide happened. And this can be closely related to, or horror, closely related to weather. Tied up with weather is better. All right. And here for the very first portion, we will need to have our settings straight. So this is initial one-day trip to Genting Highland with family and you and your family. All right. So how will I write it? Like so. Are you ready? Okay, dah. So, first thing first, let's start off with the weather. Okay. Embarking on a one-day retreat to Genting Highlands. My family sought solace from Kuala Lumpur's oppressive feet. So you first establish your scene, okay, with the characters and whatnot. Then we move on. The loomed. Sorry, not loomed. The looming clouds above hinted at a drastic change in weather making the cool mountain escaped even more inviting. Okay. Then we can use the sound technique. I call shotgun. I exclaimed. And within minutes, we were on our way to our family escaped. Okay. So for this portion, we established the setting first. Okay, one-day retreat, Genting Highland, family. Right. The hinted one is this portion. Right, written in orange font. The looming clouds above hinted at a drastic change in weathers. But because you don't want the people to know that, okay, it's so obvious that you are saying that later will have bad things happen. So you say, making the cool mountains escape even more inviting. So you thought it's inviting because when we talk about the looming clouds means very dark, heavy clouds. Above, again, it is to indicate that it's going to rain soon. But if it's going to rain soon, the temperature definitely going to drop a bit more, right? Hence, it will be cooler in Genting Highlands. And you thought it's better because now KL too hot. Okay, so I call shotgun means I agree to go, exclaimed, within minutes on the way to our family escapade. Means that go to the short getaway. So without really showing or really telling exactly what's going to happen next, which we plan to write landslide happened, at least there is a hint with the cloud talk that there will be a drastic change in weather. Okay, and it might change to a very terrible situation where landslides will happen due to the weather. Too much water, too heavy rain, landslides happen, you're gonna be stuck there. Okay. So remember, we are trying to write the introduction only. Do not write summary. You don't have to let people know immediately in your introduction that landslide going to happen, or you will go home safely in the introduction. We are just trying to establish the story, the beginning of the story. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. After you're done copying this portion, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the meeting chat box. Otherwise, go to your question 2, work on the question 2. Okay, again, read through the plot first. Try to identify 1, what's the setting, location, character. 2, what's the highlight that you need to understand will happen next, your climax of your story, and what's the ending of it, and how can you back mechanics if it's a happy ending, then is it considered that your introduction need to be happy, or is it a sad ending, then your introduction have to be sad as well, then later in the climax portion is happy, then go down. So ensure you establish the roller coaster of emotion. Okay, then try to apply it with the 5 senses descriptions for your hinting of the foreshadowing. I will recommend you weather. Okay, so just try yourself. Definitely when times come, I will also give you my sample answers, but I want to see how you do it, because I believe if you're able to apply it yourself, try it out yourself, it is easier for you to learn like so, rather than I give you the answer and then you didn't digest it and then you forgot, and then next time when you try to do foreshadowing in your writing, you forgot the method of doing it again. All right. So for those watching the recording, pause it here. I think I'll give you, since we have a bit of time, right? I'll give you 10 minutes perhaps, okay? It's a lot, if you only have like 45 minutes for your writing, by using 10 minutes to build the introduction, it's considered quite long. So try it out yourself. It's okay if it's not great now. I want to see your version first. Then later only I share with you my version. At least I know where are we, what's lacking. Okay? Pause it here. Those watching the recording, do it yourself, return back the recording, then we will have the discussion, or I will review the answers for you accordingly. All right, all good? Okay, 10 minutes, let's go. Okay, first of all, you have to read through the plot, okay, the story. When you write your story, you will need to have the story flow in your mind already, from the beginning to the end. Not like while you are writing, you try to figure out what you need to put. Okay, the whole story first. Then identify the highlight or the climax of the story to ensure what's the roller coaster of emotion should be. Okay, then look into the setting, the location, the time, or the character of your story, and then use the hinting phrases. Okay, I'm so sorry, my words might be a bit artistic today because I want to write it fast for you. This portion. Time's up. Okay. Gung ho. So let me just quickly bring you through the story flow and then show you how do I do it now. The school was finally out. All I wanted was to head home, blast the AC less around the house. I got robbed in the back alley on the way home. No one came to my rescue. I lodged a police report on my own. So always remember, this is like your before, during, and after. So before, what happened? School was out, you want to go home. Then during the time you got robbed, okay, and no one came to your rescues. At the end of the day, you have to lodge a police report on your own. So the keywords here, few things are, first portion, you just got out from the school and you want to head home, okay? And then here there's some description that perhaps you can use. Bless the AC lays around the house, means that perhaps you can use the weather description that is very hot, sunny weather. Okay, so it's more gel with this flow. And this is introduction because you're trying to fix an introduction, right? You can definitely use all this information when you don't have to like avoid using. Okay, it's just that for the hinting phrase, do not tell what happened later. You can always use description, but not tell the climax portion what happened next. Okay, but of course, the climax, the highlights is that you got dropped, no one came to rescue, means all by your own. Okay, which is also sad lah. All right, sad. Then this portion, you have to lodge the report on your own, although it's not considered like happy ending, but at least it's a good ending. You did not got killed or you did not get raped, right? So all this is considered good. So for me, if this is sad, this is good, contrasting, I will try to write a good introduction as well. Sorry, the good introduction, yes, the good beginning for me to, when I go to the during portion, then it's more contrasty, right? So it's almost time, technically, actually, in fact, it's time already. Can I give you my sample answer? Okay, but I will still need you to try it out yourself. So please, WhatsApp me later, okay, on your version after you tried out. I will give you time, don't worry. By end of later today or at least end of this week, let me know your version. I still want to see your version because that's how I can help you more individually. Okay, then there will also be homework that I want you to do, which is your practice 2. Okay, read through this essay because this essay actually did applied foreshadowing techniques. Try to do the information transfer and identify the plot of the story for intro part, the during part, the continue part. Highlight the foreshadow found in the introductions. Okay, so page 18 and 19 is your homework. Okay. Again, if possible, WhatsApp me your homework. Otherwise, I will try to discuss a bit before we dive right into our week 4 syllabus. And this is how I write it. Kejap ah. It's not coming out, Henke. A moment. Let me type it out for you again. Jap ah. Faster. Already. Okay. Okay. Can you see my untitled document instead? Let me just type it out for you because my iPad, the app is having some problem here. Can I? I'll quickly just type it to you. So my version is, okay, use the sound of technique first. Okay, use the sound of technique first. Then I wrote one version at site. The school. You can take a picture lah, because I scared later you doesn't but dismissal bell rang. Okay. And signal freedom for all. So time's up and then you can go home. All I wanted was to head home, bless the AC and lays around the house. Okay. Then I want to make it happy because later contrast the set ma. So my eager footsteps. Okay, my eager footsteps along the road that I walked a million times, slowed down as the usually bustling streets transitioned into an unsettling silence. Okay, the deserted alley leading towards my house, normally unnoticed. Okay, normally unnoticed, now loomed ahead. Means looks very dark and looks like it's gonna something bad is going to happen. Looks like very like blur-ish. You're not sure. Let me just zoom in a bit more for you. Okay, take a screenshot lah, I think, because time's up. I don't want to take so much time of you here. So take a screenshot later. You can copy yourself at the site. First thing first, I make the setting clear, location and the timing and the character. I know is one. Time's up. You can go home. You want to head home. Then I bless the aircon and lace around. This is also part of the pointer that has been given in the plot. Then I want to make it happy. So eager footstep along the road that I've walked a million times. Suddenly here we change. We have a transition of how do you change the emotion? Okay. How what are the places that usually will have robbery? When it's too silent, there's no one, then maybe robber will come and find you, right? So usually bustling streets transition into an unsettling silence. Okay. Then the alley. This deserted alley means the very kosong alley leading towards your house, normally unnoticed, now loomed ahead. Now is a bit like blur blur, like you're not sure what's there. You think that there's something not right, but you're not sure. Okay, so this is your foreshadow. This one. Usually bustling street, normally unnoticed, loomed ahead. Okay. So this is my version. I will wait for your version. Please WhatsApp to me. Tell me that you're my online student. What's your name? This is your version. I'll help you to quickly glance through and see if you are able to understand what we need or not. Okay? All goods. And remember to work on your practice 2 homework for page 18 bottom part and also your page 19 lah. Oops. So once you've done your screenshotting, please raise your hand so I know that you have done and I can continue to call it a day for you. All right. Semua bagus? Are y'all okay? Okay, Boyong good. How about others? Ryan, Jimmy, Chenro, done screenshotting? Any other questions before I move on? If all done, raise hand now. All right. Then I'll call it a day. If there's anything, please WhatsApp me and let me know. And thank you for your time. I'll see you again next week. Same timing. Bye-bye. Thank yous. Bye.